Every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every bottle of fine wine, every collectible car, every piece of real estate, every private business, everything of value in the world will eventually be a token.
In today's fast-changing digital world, an alarming revelation has come to light that could disrupt the traditional financial system we are familiar with. An anonymous insider has claimed that the gradual elimination of cash, the physical currency that has been the backbone of economies for centuries, is paving the way for a society that operates without cash. This disclosure has sparked a heated debate and raised plenty of questions about the driving forces of this shift and the effect it could have on our lives, economies, and the global financial ecosystem. The rapid disappearance of cash is not a rumor or a distant future scenario. It's happening right under our noses. Imagine you walk into your local bank expecting to withdraw cash or deposit a check, only to meet blank stares and digital screens. That's the reality for customers of a major Australian bank, Mirror Bank, which has decided to ditch cash entirely and go full throttle digital. No more cash, no more checkbooks. This move isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a broader trend reshaping the banking sector worldwide. But why the sudden dislike for cash? According to the authorities, the key factors are convenience, efficiency, and safety. Experts praise digital banking as the height of contemporary finance, commended for its speed, security, and unparalleled convenience. Just tap, swipe, or click, and your money magically zips across cyberspace to its destination. No more fumbling with crumpled bills or worrying about counterfeit notes. It's the future, they say, and resistance is futile. However, this narrative is more complex than it seems. Behind this cover of convenience, there is a darker agenda, one of control, surveillance, and yes, enslavement. It sounds threatening, doesn't it? Well, that's because it is. The shift towards a cashless society isn't just about embracing shiny new technology. It's about tightening the noose of control around our financial lives. Every transaction you make, every purchase you consider, every dime you spend, all meticulously tracked, monitored, and logged. It's like Big Brother, but with a calculator instead of a camera. And who benefits from this Orwellian nightmare? Certainly not the average Joe or Jane. No, the real winners are the puppet masters pulling the strings from their ivory towers of power. The ultimate goal is complete control by eliminating cash, giving those in power unprecedented sway over our lives. They can monitor our spending patterns, influence our financial choices, and deprive us of our hard-earned wealth instantly. It's a chilling prospect, but one that's becoming increasingly real with each passing day. After a prominent individual from the Reserve Bank made a revelation, it seems that cash may be on its way out. This may seem dramatic, but it's true. Remember Greece's financial nosedive during the Great Recession? During a trial run, an experiment was conducted where depositors' money was used to prop up the banks, leaving them with worthless shares. Surprisingly, there was not much public outcry. However, this bail-in tactic has caught the attention of banks worldwide. Recently, some influential figures in the financial industry have intentionally revealed their plans to create a financial crisis. Confused as to why the rich would play with fire? It's a gamble in which those with even a penny come out on top. During the chaos, assets go on a clearance sale, and the wealthy swoop in, expanding their empires. Brace yourself because markets worldwide are due for a meltdown. Governments will dish out bailouts and digital currency. For the first time in U.S. central banking history, they'll pump money straight into your pocket. You will feel an intense rush of excitement and happiness, similar to winning the lottery and accompanied by a surge of dopamine. A banker working in the trenches revealed that they were exhausted from the daily grind and desperate for an escape. Meanwhile, the banks are preparing for a cashless revolution. Once everyone is deep in debt, they will offer second mortgages, creating cash out of thin air. It's crucial to be prepared for any sudden shifts in the financial sector. Although the future seems uncertain, there is still hope. We still have the chance to stand up against the rising tide of tyranny and take back our financial freedom from both corporate greed and government overreach. But how can we achieve this? By equipping ourselves with knowledge, raising awareness, and refusing to become mere pawns in their wicked game. What's the plan? First, focus on reducing your debt as much as possible. Then, consider investing your money in assets that are likely to hold their value despite inflation. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin are some options that are already being favored by wealthy individuals and central banks. However, it's important to keep in mind that paper money may soon become obsolete, just like it happened in Europe when paper bills were replaced by polymer ones. Therefore, if you are still holding on to cash, it's time to make a decision. Consider swapping your bills for tangible assets before their value declines. There is mounting evidence to suggest that powerful institutions and governments are working together to eliminate cash from circulation. According to an anonymous insider, this coordinated effort aims to combat illicit activities like tax evasion, money laundering, and terrorist financing. However, some skeptics believe that this narrative is a smokescreen for more sinister motives, such as increased control over people's financial transactions and the loss of privacy. To understand the reasons behind this alleged push towards a cashless society, it is necessary to examine the various forces that may be driving this transformation. The increase of digital payment systems, such as mobile wallets, contactless cards, and peer-to-peer payment apps, has revolutionized the way we transact. These convenient and secure payment methods have gained widespread adoption, particularly among younger generations, who are increasingly embracing the convenience of cashless transactions. Government initiatives and regulations. Governments around the world have been actively promoting cashless economies, citing benefits such as increased transparency, reduced costs associated with handling physical currency, and better tracking of financial transactions. Some countries have even implemented policies that incentivize or mandate the use of digital payment systems, effectively discouraging the use of cash. The war on cash. Similar to the rise of digital payments, there has been a growing report surrounding the war on cash. Proponents of this movement argue that eliminating cash can help combat criminal activities, such as money laundering and tax evasion, by making financial transactions more traceable and transparent. Critics, however, argue that this narrative is a guise for increased government control and surveillance. The influence of big tech and financial institutions. Major technology companies and financial institutions have invested heavily in developing and promoting digital payment solutions, which could reduce their operational costs and increase their market share. These powerful entities have a vested interest in driving the adoption of cashless transactions, as it aligns with their business models and enhances their profitability. The ramifications of a cashless society. The transition to a cashless society, if realized, would have far-reaching implications that would reshape various aspects of our lives and the global financial system. One of the most significant concerns surrounding a cashless society is the erosion of privacy and increased surveillance. Governments, financial institutions, and other entities would digitally record and monitor every financial transaction without physical cash. This raises concerns about individual privacy and the abuse of power or data breaches. While digital payment systems offer convenience for those with access to technology and banking services, they could also exclude marginalized communities and individuals without access to these resources. This could worsen financial exclusion and widen the gap between the banked and unbanked populations, particularly in developing nations. In a cashless society, the entire financial system would be heavily reliant on digital infrastructure and networks. This heightens the risk of cyber attacks, data breaches, and system failures, which could have catastrophic consequences for individuals, businesses, and economies. Ensuring the security and resilience of these systems would be paramount. The elimination of cash could have significant implications for industries and businesses that rely heavily on cash transactions, such as street vendors, small businesses, and certain service sectors. This could lead to economic disruption, job losses, and a shift in consumer behavior and market dynamics. Without a viable backup system or alternative means of conducting transactions, widespread power outages, natural disasters, or system failures could cripple a cashless society. Governments and regulatory bodies must establish robust frameworks to ensure the protection of consumer rights, privacy, and financial inclusion. We should implement clear guidelines and safeguards to prevent abuse, promote transparency, and maintain a level playing field for all stakeholders. Extensive public awareness campaigns and educational initiatives are essential to ensure that individuals understand the implications, risks, and benefits of a cashless society. This would empower citizens to make informed decisions and actively participate in shaping the transition process. To support a cashless financial ecosystem, we must make significant investments and efforts to strengthen cybersecurity measures and digital infrastructure. Collaboration between governments, the private sector, and security experts is necessary to mitigate risks and ensure the resilience of the system. While embracing digital payment solutions, it may be mindful to maintain a degree of cash circulation as a contingency measure. This would provide a backup option in case of system failures, emergencies, or for individuals who prefer or require the use of physical currency. As financial systems become increasingly interconnected and globalized, international cooperation and the establishment of common standards and protocols will be crucial. This would ensure interoperability, prevent regulatory arbitrage, and facilitate cross-border transactions in a cashless environment. The recent revelation by an insider that cash is being phased out has sparked a lot of debate and speculation. While the reasons behind this move are unclear, the implications are significant and varied. If we are to move towards a cashless society, we need to do so carefully, transparently, and with a deep commitment to safeguarding the interests of all involved. Whether or not the insider's claims are true, it is clear that the financial sector is changing rapidly, and it is up to us to stay informed, engaged, and proactive in shaping the future of money and the global financial ecosystem. It's important to remember that the power ultimately lies with us, the people. We must unite and demand accountability from those who seek to strip us of our most basic freedoms. The battle for a cashless future may already be underway, but it's not too late to turn the tide in our favor. The choice is ours: either surrender to servitude or stand up and fight for our right to financial autonomy. The clock is ticking, my friends. We need to act now.